This is That Guy Jig Sports Podcast. I am him, JIG. Subscribe, rate, or review, Amazon, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Check us out. And don't forget about the Instagram at That Guy Jig, Jigsaw Jimmy 17 on the YouTube. Week 6 is done. And now we are at that territory of it's time to get serious. It's time to get serious. We are more than halfway through the season now, folks. At this point, if Week 14, we're talking about championships. We're talking about are we in or are we out? But to get there, we must be serious from this day forward. We must pay extreme attention to details. We must really look into these matchups because we know what each team is. We know what they are. We know the Dallas Cowboys are a fraud. We know that they wasted money this offseason. We know this to be true. We know the Vikings are slowly becoming a contender. We know the Jets needed to go get Davante Adams, which they did. Because if you look at the New York Jets over the last 2 weeks, their offense has been solid, but it hasn't been good or great. And to be good and to be in that upper echelon, to compete for championships, your offense has to be good and then great. With Davante Adams, they are now great. You add Davante Adams with Garrett Wilson. You add it with Allen Lazard, Breece Hall, Braylon Allen. Now you cannot load the box. And now Lazard and Garrett Wilson should see a little bit more one-on-one coverage. Now, there will be teams that do the Bill Belichick, and that's when you take your number one corner, and you take away the number 2, and you double-team the number 1. There will be teams that do that. But overall, Week 6 was a very eventful week. We saw some things take place that I don't know if you saw, but I'm going to make sure that you see them today. Because Week 7's tomorrow. Thursday night football starts tomorrow. That's the thing about fantasy football. We don't get time to, grieve. We don't get time to cry. It's time to get back on the horse, and it's time to go ride. Because what I'm talking about, Travis Etienne and Zach Moss have officially lost their starting spots. If you have these two guys, I'm sorry. Travis Etienne has a phantom hamstring injury that no one saw that he got. But if he has one, he has one. Finished the game with nothing. Zach Moss finished the game with nothing. And he fumbled. You cannot fumble. That's another thing. Fumbles have been killing some people in the NFL this year. So those are two people for sure. Look at James Conner down there in Arizona. What I'm saying is there will be an infusion of youth around the NFL. There will be an infusion of youth, especially at the running back position, because the whole idea of the NFL and the running back position is why would I pay somebody who can't play a whole year? Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, Saquon, Derrick Henry are probably the 5-4 running backs that you can, really depend on every year to do what they do. Those 4 guys. Outside of that, that leaves you with 28 other guys that you can use by running back by committee. And that's what the owners, the GMs, and these coaches are showing you. Outside of these guys that I've named, most of everybody is doing running back by committee. Kenneth Walker is a guy who gets the bulk of the carries, but he does still split. He does miss time. So my whole point about all this is look in the details of the running backs that are up for a new job. Pierre Strong is a guy that's in contention, especially with Jerome Ford exiting the game. He's a guy that's going to be, I know Nick Chubb is coming back supposedly, but they're not about to just give him 30 carries. They're going to give him something about 6 carries. He might get 8 touches total, but he's not going to get a full workload. So, Pierre Strong's a good one. Dante Foreman's a good one to still have. When it comes to the Jaguars, they have Tank Bigsby, which you should have already got your hands on. But if you can't get your hands on Tank's Bigsby, Dearness Johnston, he's got a lot of carries when the phantom hamstring injury happened. But week 7, we have games. And with fantasy football coming, we must Like I said, you got to be serious. This is serious. This is where you make your playoff run. This is where you can get good seeding. This is where you can get ahead of the competition, and that way, when it's the nitty gritty, you have points, you have wins, points and wins. I'm good. I'm good. If I can't get the win, at least give me the points, because now when we start talking about tiebreakers, I'll be okay because my team put up points, and that's what it's about. The details. The details. Thursday Night Football, Broncos at Saints. Sean Payton goes back to New Orleans. Spencer Rattler has to be better. He has to be better. I like the Saints at home in this game, by the way. They have the better defense. And they have more offensive weapons. They just need not to turn the ball over. So if Spencer Rattler doesn't turn the ball over, give me the Saints straight up. I do like the overs. They're at 38. I do think these teams will score more than 38 points on a Thursday Night Football. The last couple of Thursday Night Football games have been good. There is no talent in this game for me for Denver. I'm sorry. If you have somebody starting for the Broncos, I'm sorry. Davante Pookie Williams, he's going to be on the downcline. Aldrick is on the way back, the rookie running back. He will be back. Aldrick Esime, he will be back soon. He was back last week, but I'm saying he'll be back for the full workload. The full workload. So that will put Pookie Williams in jeopardy because he has not done well with the opportunities given. The NFL is all about opportunities and what you're going to do with the opportunities. Look down there in Tampa Bay. My man Sean went crazy. Absolutely bonkers. Ham and cheese melt. But for the Saints, I like Chris Olave is not going to be playing. So I do like Shaheed. Shaheed's a good guy because he has punt return capabilities, kick return capability. He returns stuff, and he's a good receiver. And he looks like he's one of the favorite receivers. I like Alvin Kamara this week. It all comes down to Spencer Rattler. This game is the quarterback play. Overall, this is a kicker's game. Don't get me wrong. I said it's going over 38, but listen to what I said, 38. That's not that many points. So this is going to be a kicker's game. Overall, mid on the chart as far as fantasy football expectations from this game. You should expect the projections, and that's about it. Sunday, we get the early game that leads up into the main entree, which I like. I like the appetizers at 7:30. I just wish we got better competition. We got Jaguars and Patriots. Jaguars are terrible. I would not be surprised if they lost this game. There is no Travis Etienne, so it'll be a Tank Bigsby. It'll be his show. Look for the receivers and Trevor Lawrence to get on the same page. They have not been on the same page for the first 6 games. Maybe the 7th game will help. But Trevor Lawrence looks actually bad. Daniel Jones looks better than Trevor Lawrence. And Daniel Jones might not have a job next year. And if you don't believe me, just look at it. Just don't look at the stats. Just go look at the games. Go watch the games and just watch how much more control Daniel Jones has been in this year versus Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has literally looked like he has regressed. He has looked like he has regressed. He hasn't had Evan Ingram. Yes, he lost Calvin Ridley, but still, you got Gabe Davis, you got Brian Thomas Jr., Christian Kirk. Tell me what you're missing. I don't know. Overall, the talent in this game, I like the Patriots, folks. I'm telling you, with Drake May throwing the ball, I don't know if you saw him throwing that pill. Listen, Ramondre Stevenson is going to have a hell of a game in London because the Patriots can now throw the ball. I don't think people understand how important the ability to throw the ball is. Yes, running the ball keeps time of possession. Yes, running the ball keeps their offense off the field. But if you can throw the football, if a defense is afraid of you going vertical, you can do anything you want to a defense. If a defense is truly afraid that I'm going to get beat deep, you can do anything. And that's why you see most teams run too high and you're able to run the ball too high. But at any rate, give me the Patriots in an upset. They're playing better football than the Jaguars. I do not believe in anything in the Jaguars, and I believe on next Monday we'll be seeing Doug Peterson out the way. Seahawks-Falcons has the opportunity to be a great game. It's in a dome. Geno Smith has to bounce back like Viagra. He played absolutely fucking terrible last game, so he has to bounce back like Viagra. Look for these receivers for the Seahawks to get going against this Falcons defense. Falcons defense is solid against the pass, but this receiving core for the Seahawks is going to be very good. And like I said, they have to bounce back. Kirk Cousins should have more of a vertical passing game. Remember, I told you Bijan was going to get going. I told you Bijan Robinson was going to get going against the Carolina Panthers. This is one of those games. Now, this is one of those games where you put the ball in the hands of the guy that you paid, and you paid Kirk Cousins. So look for Kirk Cousins to have about at least 32, 33 passing attempts in this game. They're going to be throwing the ball all over the place, and that has the opportunity to be a great game. Titans and Bills. Amari Cooper is out of prison. He left Cleveland. Listen, this is how dumb of an organization the Cleveland Browns are. Seriously, this is how dumb they are. It makes absolutely no sense in trading him mid-season when you could have traded him for Brandon Ayuk. Unless the 49ers were like, nah, we don't want it. Which that's not what I read. What the hell? Because now you traded him and you practically got nothing. And at least you could have got another receiver in there. But it doesn't matter when Deshaun Massage Oil is your quarterback. He's a terrible quarterback. He's a terrible, terrible quarterback. Deshaun Watson's fall off should be studied. It should really be studied because it's bad. It's bad. Absolutely bad. But shout out to Amari Cooper. He was locked up like a bird. He's free. And now he gets to go catch balls, from Josh Allen. Way better quarterback than Deshaun Watson. Sorry. And he's playing some good football. Amari Cooper is a silent superstar. He's a superstar that's going to just get you 1,200 yards receiving and not say much about it. He's just going to go in there and do his fucking job. That's it. That's it. And he's going to have the opportunity to have some good numbers over here in Buffalo. I'm very excited for Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper fantasy football owners, I know you're excited too. Now, this Titans-Bills game is going to be some fantasy football little juice. We got DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley. He does gamble, and he was just pissed off. So they should be getting him some more targets. We're going him again out anytime touchdown. Listen, it's no secret what I do. It's no secret what I do. All right? There's no secret. Calvin Ridley, touchdown. Simple. They're going to be down. The Bills are going to get up. Hopefully James Cook is playing. If not, Ray Davis. Ray Davis is clear. The backup number 2, he is that guy. And he's probably going to get a bigger workload regardless if James Cook does play. If James Cook does play, he still gets his workload because of what he just did last game. It's just that simple. For the Titans, Tony Pollard's a top 20 running back right now, so you have to play him. Will he have a tough matchup? Maybe. But if they can get him some catches, everything will be all right. Bengals and Browns. Bengals and the Browns. This game right here is two shitty organizations trying to right the path. The Bengals are on more of a better path because they have Joe Burrow instead of Deshaun Watson as their quarterback. So that right there alone is going to put them in an upper echelon. I like everybody in this game outside of Browns players. David Njoku, he might get a tud this week. He's due. He's mathematically due for a touchdown. So put him down for a touchdown if you will. $20 will probably win you $120. For the Bengals, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, these guys are those are the three. And that's why Joe Mixon was out the door, because they had Chase Brown. He's a great running back. Yeah, if you have anybody for the Browns, don't play him unless you absolutely have to. Deshaun Watson's that bad. Deshaun Watson's so bad that he is taking the value from other fantasy football players. This is fact. Texans and Packers is going to be an absolute fucking shootout. Play everybody. Romeo Dubes, Lazard, Demario Wicks might be out. Kraft. We're looking at Josh Jacobs, Jingleheimer Smith. His name is my name too. Tulsa, Oklahoma, stand up. We're playing him. We're playing that guy. We're playing everybody for the Texans. C.J. Stroud's the quarterback. Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs, Dalton Schultz, Joe Mixon. We're playing them. We're playing them. This is going to be a high-scoring game, and we're benching both of those defenses. Because eventually it's going to be like, what defenses? Why are these guys just standing here? Get them out the way. Dolphins and Colts. I would hope the Dolphins had figured out a way to get Tyreek Hill the ball on the bye week. I hope that was the only thing Mike McDaniels did. I hope he sat down with Snoop Huntley and he just pointed and said, this is what you need to do. And he showed him clips and clips and clips. Because if you're going to sit there and tell me that Tua is the only quarterback in that quarterback room that can get Tyreek a vertical ball, then what the hell are we doing? Like, you have failed as an organization. We need to talk about this. This needs to be studied. This is absolutely bonkers. So give me the Dolphin playmakers. The Colts defense is ass cheeks. And if Anthony Richardson's playing, they're going to lose. But if he's out, they're going to win. I'm telling you guys, Anthony Richardson's a terrible quarterback. He's a terrible NFL quarterback because of the fact of he's a project. He's a project, and he is not being worked on. They're just trying to cater their offense to this project instead of making this project a quarterback. Lamar Jackson is a quarterback. They have tailored the offense, but then they have also made him a quarterback. They turned that project into a quarterback. There's no bones about it. But everybody in that game's wide open. Honestly, Miami's in the Dome. I would be surprised if this game isn't high scoring. I would be very surprised. Game of the week, in my opinion, Lions and Vikings. I expect this to be a all-out shoot the fuck out. I'm talking about each size has AR-15s, extended mags, and they got dicks on them. You know what I mean? They're just shooting the fuck up. This is going to be a good game. Good game. Good football game. We're playing everybody. Sam Darnold's playing MVP caliber football. The Vikings just got Cam Akers, which kind of tells me the Aaron Jones injury is a little more serious. They're probably going to hold him out. I would be very surprised if they do play him with the signing of Cam Akers this week. I look at all the receivers. I look at Jair Alexander versus Justin Jefferson. This is going to be popcorn box office numbers. This is going to be must-see football. Please tune into this game. On the opposite side, Amari St. Brown and these guys should get going. The Lions' offense is impressive. It's beautiful. It looks fun. I like everything about it. Ben Johnson's probably going to get a job this year. But if I was him, I would stay around with this dynasty they're building up there in Detroit. This is a good team. That's going to be a good game. Like I said, everybody's in play. Everybody's in play. Josh Reynolds. No, not Josh Reynolds. I'm sorry. Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick's a wide receiver in deeper leagues you might want to get your hands on. If you can get your hands on Tim Patrick, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. The guy's been producing, and it looks like, low-key, he could be the number one outside receiver. So that's big time. Jared Goff likes him already. And we know what Jared Goff likes about those big receivers because of Josh Reynolds. That's why he was all in my mind. Eagles and Giants. Eagles should beat the hell out of the Giants. The Giants have been playing formidable football. It's been very admirable. It's been very respectable, but the Eagles are just different right now. They're getting healthy. They're getting more confident. Jalen Hurts is starting to walk with that pastor swag again, and I think that's probably the most dangerous thing for football. So give me the Eagles, and give me the Eagles covering that 3. Give me a Saquon Barkley touchdown, and give me a Davante Smith touchdown. That's what I like. But the Giants should put up some numbers. Wan'Dale Robinson, Malik Neighbors, Devin Singletary is playing. These guys should be able to move the ball because the Eagles' defense is not that great. It's good. It's actually solid. That's cap. It's capped on a goddamn Wednesday. 2 o'clock games. Raiders and Rams. Hopefully Cooper Kupp plays. Take the Rams. Rams probably will win big. This is going to be one of those games where Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay, and these fools get right. They're going to make a nice little push in the second half of the season, especially as they get more healthy. Now, the number ones now. Now listen, Jacoby Myers owners, guess what? He's the new number one. That's the new sheriff in town. Davante Adams is gone. Jacoby Myers is now the number one, with Brock Bowers is probably number one, honestly, and Jacoby Myers is probably 1B. But that's what it's looking like. You know, you got a couple running backs. You know, Addison, he's going to be a solid back to half. He's probably the most solid back. I don't really understand what happened to Zamir White. Maybe it was scheme. Maybe it was just luck. I don't know. But this is another fall-off that needs to be studied. For the Panthers and the Commanders game, all Commanders players' value is up. Buy stock in these guys. And we just saw what the Falcons did to them. So it's going to be similar. Look for the Washington Commanders to get right. Get right. So this is one of those games where we're just padding stats. We're making sure that our stats are looking good. They're beefed up where we are on pace for bonuses. Because that's what they get in this league. They get bonuses. When they do good things like this, they get bonuses. So that's what we're shooting for. That is what we're shooting for. And this game right here, overall, the Panthers have a chance to score some points. Leggett, Deontay Johnson, those receivers, because the Washington Commanders' secondary is bad, and they should be down. Andy Dalton should be like a reputable quarterback if you needed him in like a pinch. Because like I said, they're going to be down, and the Commanders' secondary is bad. Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl rematch. It's not really that exciting. All the weapons aren't there. We don't know about Christian McCaffrey. I tried to not bring him up this whole show, but they're saying week 10. We're looking at like a week 10, so 3 more weeks. Just stay diligent. Just stay confident, stay strong, hold the line. And just remember, we're probably not going to have them this year, but the Chiefs should win this game. The weapons are the weapons. Ayuk, we look for him to get into the end zone eventually. Paid him a lot of money not scoring touchdowns. So if Mason can't go, Isaac is the guy. He's the clear-cut guy. Kittle's been balling. So this game, the kickers are good. The kickers are going to be good. That game's going to be decent. The Jets with Davante Adams versus the Steelers. This is a game that's going to be all right. I look for the Steelers to win this game, though. It's at home. I just don't think they care enough about Davante Adams. I think the Steelers just like to win. They're 4-2, which is a surprise to me. I don't see them losing this game. I think they'll be 5-2 going into Monday. Ravens and the Buccaneers could be a shootout just because the Ravens secondary struggles. The Buccaneers have a great receiving core. This is the recipe for run it the fuck up. This is the recipe of we got to score. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry is a touchdown machine. Now remember, I said he is due for a bust, and that is not this game. He will score a touchdown in this game. He might score 2 again. The guy is on pace to do some shit this year, and I think he should be. And I think he should be in the MVP conversation. I think he should be right in the middle, rooted in the conversation because he deserves to be. Monday night, this is the best game we got because then we got the Chargers and the Cardinals. That game's going to be an absolute shit fest. Give me the Chargers in that one. I don't believe in anything the Cardinals are doing. I don't know what they're doing, but I don't believe in it. And I don't believe James Conner will be the starting running back for too much longer. So look for a change to come there. Look for some value in that Ravens game. Give me a Zay Flowers. Give me a Mike Evans touchdown. Give me a Zay Flowers, Mike Evans touchdown combination, and let me see what we get. And also, let me get a subscribe. Subscribe, rate, and review. And are you following us on Instagram? Because that's where we're putting the picks, folks. We put all of our picks on there for college football and for the NFL. And I'm here to tell you, we up. You know what I mean? We are up. The last 30 days, we're at a 107, 58, and 2. So I'm just saying, man, come get lost with us. Shout out to Tyler, the Creator. But once again, this is That Guy Jig Sports Podcast. I am him, JIG. Subscribe, rate, and review. Tell a friend to tell a friend. That way we can all be friends and get on this ship that doesn't sink in a friendship. Thanks for listening. Peace.